And we're on. Are we on? Yes, we're on. So we pick up after the last video. No music introduction this time because I didn't even close the game. So we're back here. We finished everything, and now 1 year later, Dr. Evans sent me a rotting hand, and with the journal to finish it, the last chapter in it, the bargain. So let's get into it. Anything else here? No. Here we go. Ooh. Papa.
There you are. Collect your things. Where's the key? To that door. Gone. Damn. There's no time. We need to go. Right. Here you go. What are you up to? Nothing good.
Oh. What the fuck? What the fuck? No! No, not the thing, not the monkey. Holy fuck. Nothing good. Oh. Okay. So this is Martin. But Martin was... And this is... Oh, this is the prisoner, the dude that lost his mind. So Martin was there, spiked. There you are. Collect your things. Where is the key? To that door. Gone. Damn. There's no time. We need to go. Right, in you go. What are you up to? Nothing good. Down, where is the key? Sorry, I was asking. He wanted the key. Okay. A friendly but not entirely present monkey companion was sacrificed in the pursuit of knowledge. No. But was he talking to the monkey? Who are you talking to? Oh my god. He was talking to the first mate. He was talking to Paul Moss. There he is. We have two bodies. That was the monkey, we have Martin, and we have the... Let's check Martin.
A third shell. Captain didn't toss them all. Leave it. Help me lift this. Stop! Why? Well, set you free. Give it the shell. Eh? Do it. Hoist it out. To the main deck. Throw it over. Lock the door when you leave. Get the tail, boy. In return, the ship. The Obra Dinn. See it home.
So they gave the shell to the monster and let it go. Fuck, he was here. And you... Okay, he was already dead. And he was spiked by the beast. Damn. Okay. He traded the shell for the Obra Dinn. You were spiked. What?
I'll kill every last one of you monsters. Withdraw the Kraken, or I will kill you all!
Okay. So you are the captain. Oh, this is how he drove away the Kraken. He started torturing the beasts. He had the shell in his hand. Okay. Okay. A captured beast fought against his jailer and was speared for the trouble. Yeah. One other person is present, the captain.
Call it off, damn you! This is your Kraken! You brought it here! Send it back!
Oh, okay, so he killed the first one, then he killed the second, and then Martin made a deal with the third to withdraw the Kraken by giving them the thing. The music, oh my god! Music. An unholy creature's defiant shrieks were greater with a fatal bullet. So he killed this one. And he also killed this one. And the last one was let free by Martin. Yeah, Martin is the real hero here. Now, the end is near.
What's this? Quicksilver. Herre min Gud!
Okay. So this is Quicksilver. This is what kills the beast. And he opened it to remove a shell and died. This is when the Kraken was here. Okay. Let's listen to the music. You, my friend, got burned to death. Obra Dinn! Well done, all fates correct. Philip Dahl, Captain Stewart, burned to death. Martin Perro, third mate, was spiked by a terrible beast. That's it. Pa, 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 pa. So Martin is the one who saved the Obra Dinn, not the captain. Wow. Lucas Pop, you genius motherfucker. Kiko, Koda, Caleb, Sian, Bruce Lee, Likon, Hongren, Kulin, Josue, Monash. Music. All right. This is one of the best puzzle games I ever played. It definitely goes into my WoW list. Rob Townsend, Cameron Nihad, Jeffrey Pillars, Callan McAuliffe. So I was saying that definitely goes into my WoW list. It doesn't yet go, like it's not a 10 out of 10. Simply because there were too many, like I relied too much on the hammocks. So even though it's cool, but yeah, I don't know, I'll think about it. The puzzles were great, and I love that there are multiple ways to approach a level. Like you can, I know from a friend that he approached it differently, he unlocked something before something else. I wanted to make sure that all fates can be solved by logic without chance. The only part I took chance was the two females. But I think it was on purpose, because like one looked like a miss, the other didn't, and she didn't dress like a miss. So that's my only part where I would say it's a chance, but it's a 1 out of 2 chance, so you can try both. The others I was 100% sure when I put them, so that's cool. Even when sometimes I was 95% and it turned out wrong. So yeah, I love the visuals and the way it's done, and it reminds me of Memento, the movie. Also the whole time travel and go 5 minutes in the back, in the past. It was very well done. It's a small game. It took me a lot because I took time to think, and I wasn't very like smart. I didn't always find all the clues. So yeah, and the story is great. I didn't understand it all. Like I think I can put the pieces together. Like I can go with the pieces, and let me see. Continue. What happened if I continue? Okay, let me open the book. So, okay, so let's see the story. Loose cargo. Well, initially there was some loose cargo, and there was someone who was who was trying to get a free passage. He died at the beginning on loose cargo. Someone else, like it looked like a curse started. And a bitter cold, some sickness. Here we get the first murder. Yeah, I think, and here this guy was blamed. They returned and he hit him. They went to the sea to get the shells. One of them returns. He was killed, so he doesn't bring the shell. The Formosans were the only one that knew what's happening initially. What else? Unholy captives. This is when the trouble started because of the shells. So the Formosans, I think, were here to make sure that the beasts don't get the Quicksilver. No, not the Quicksilver. The Quicksilver thing that killed them. Yeah, I don't know. It's you have to piece things together, so that's pretty cool. I'll probably end up reading the entire story. So after they took some unholy captives, and they triggered the wrath of the soldiers. They came, and then they released the Kraken. And after releasing the Kraken, the captain tried to make a bargain with them and force them to call it off. It didn't work. Martin did a deal. Martin did a deal with them to return them and to save the Obra Dinn. However, the doctor didn't want to. He stole. I think he stole one of the seashell or something in the escape. And there was mutiny somewhere in between. And at the end, the captain was left on the Obra Dinn, and the curse continues. They were all dead, killed. That's what I know. There is a lot missing, which what I will do, I'll go read the story. Quit to title. Yeah, I'll quit this. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna open the story. Obra Dinn full story. Story summary. Okay, I'm gonna read it. So if you don't want to listen to it, let me share my screen. Hold on. Obra Dinn. I'm gonna switch to another recording. 1 second. And here we are. So I'm going to read the story. Feel free to exit if you don't care about it, because that's the end of the video. I'm just gonna read the story and comment on it. So the story of the return of the Obra Dinn is divided into 10 chapters. The narrative is non-linear and starts in 1807, 5 years after the Obra Dinn set sails. This article lists events in in-universe chronological order. In 1802, the Obra Dinn launched from London with a full crew and some passengers, including 4 Formosans: Itbangsia, Bunlan Lim, and guards, Chow Tao and Hok Zhang Lao. The Formosans travel with 2 main plot devices: a chest containing a shell. Oh, so it's the Formosans' fault. Okay, so they have the chest with the shell, with 1 shell. Loose cargo. The Obra Dinn is in Falmouth, taking on cargo under the supervision of the Danish seaman Lars Linde. The rope carrying the cargo snaps, and the pallet crushes another seaman, Samuel Peters. Unbeknownst to the crew, there is a stowaway hiding inside one of the barrels. The stowaway also dies when the barrel hits the deck. Okay. A bitter cold. As an Obra Dinn sails by the coast of Portugal, 2 Indian seamen, Solomon Syed and Renfred Rajoub, succumb to a fatal lung disease, which they may have contracted in the Lascar house. Meanwhile, the midshipmen Thomas Lanke, Peter Milroy, and Charles Hirschtick assist the ship's butcher, Emil O'Farrell, in slaughtering a cow for its meat. murder. When the ship passes by the Canary Island, second mate Edward Nichols slips into cargo hold. He knocks a guard, Hawks and Glow, unconscious and breaks into the room containing the Formosan chest. As Nichols is about to take the shell inside the chest, an Italian passenger, Nunzio Pasca, wanders into the cargo holds and catches him in the act. His theft thwarted, Nichols kills Pasca to cover up his crime. It is implied that Nichols got topman Li Hong to intentionally mistranslate Lau's description of the incident as a confession, framing him for the murder. Sometime later, Captain Robert Witterell sentenced Lau to death by firing line. The Formosans protest Lau execution, but to no avail. Meanwhile, Edward Spratt, the ship's artist, draws the execution scene. Okay. After the execution, Nichols organizes several seamen to help him steal the chest and abduct two of the Formosans. In the course of this escape, they attack several other crewmen. One topman, Timothy Woodman, is shot dead as he attempts to stop the group. Just make sure I'm recording. Okay, so later Nichols was trying to he wanted to steal the ship and go away. Greed. The calling. So second mate Nichols' band begins rowing their two boats towards the Canary Island, but a group of mermaids attack the lifeboats, starting by spearing topman Li Hong in the chest. Nichols takes cover of his boat. Okay, no, I was just checking if the Formosans were abducted. Yeah. So second mate, starting by spearing topman Li Hong in the chest, Nichols takes cover in his boat, and nearly everyone dies at the hands of the mermaids, with seaman Patrick O'Hagan getting speared. Alexei Topokov and Alarkus Nikic being drowned, and passenger Budlan Lim getting her face clawed. In the middle of the fight, passenger Id Bangsia uses the spear that has impaled Hong to break free from his bond, takes a knife from the bottom of the boat and uses it to stab Samuel Galligan. Nichols' steward Sia then takes the shell and places it inside the chest, creating bright beams that stun the mermaid, but the action burns his arm to the bone and costs him his life. Nichols, the only survivor, holds the unconscious mermaid into the boat as he approaches the Obra Dinn and hails the ship passenger Xiaotan. At this point, the only surviving Formosan shoots Nichols and kills him. Unholy captive. The captured mermaid and the corpse of Nichols, Lim, and Sia are hauled on board. Captain Witterell has seaman Hamadou Diom hold stand for interrogation, with Huang Lig, a Chinese topman, acting as translator. Captain Witterell interrogates Tan about the deaths of Nichols, the mermaids, the chest, and the dead Formosans. Ted is only able to say that the shell must be protected before one of the captured mermaids shoots a spike through him and Diom. The mermaids, even as they are hauled down to the Lazarus, prove dangerous. One of them slaps Thomas Shefton, the ship's cook, with its tail, and seaman William Wasim, one of the crewmen carrying the mermaid into the Lazarus, falls down a flight of stairs, breaking his neck. Now Philip Dahl, Captain Witterell's steward, witnesses this and begins to lose his sanity. A short time later, he attacks seaman Joe Naples, cutting off his leg, resulting in Naples' death. Captain Witterell, surprised by his steward of 20 years, would do such a terrible thing, brings bosom Alfred Klesley and his Frenchman, bosom mate Charles Miner, with him to interrogate Dahl. Dahl attempts to warn them that the mermaids are cursed and urge that they should be thrown back into the sea. But he gets hauled into the Lazarus and shackles to the floor for his trouble. Soldier of the Sea. After this event, the ship turned around and head back to England. Shortly after the ship comes about, however, a storm strikes. Topman Huang Li gets struck by lightning while working on the rigging. At the same time, mysterious humanoid creature mounted on giant crabs board the ship. They attack and kill more of the crew, when making their way to the belly of the ship. Whether their agenda is to capture the shell or the mermaids is unclear. The spear topman Nicholas Botterlier and on the main deck, Pike Carpenter's mate Marcus Gibbs, decapitate surgeon mate James Wallace, and topman Ji Zhang. On the orlop deck, midshipman Charles Hershik, one of the crewmen fighting the crab riders, manages to kill one by throwing a lantern at it, but he burns to death along with it. Harry Evans, the ship's surgeon, attempts to remove a spiked butcher O'Farrell from the wall, which unfortunately kills him in the process. The second crab rider is close behind. Miner attempts to shoot it, but accidentally shoots ship steward Zungi Tazi, who, unbeknownst to everyone, crawled behind a wall after being spiked earlier. Right. The crew pursue the crab rider to the cargo deck, and Winston Smith, the ship's carpenter, shoot and kill the other crab rider with a blunderbuss as it is spearing him to death. The Doom. Surviving the crab rider attack, 3 crewmen, seamen Alexander Booth, Nathan Peters, and pursuer Duncan McKay decide to escape in one of the boats. When seaman Lars Linde asks to join the group, Peter refuses and clubs Linde for killing his brother Samuel. Chapter 1. In spite of Linde and Booth's protest that the death was accidental. West of Madeira, a kraken attacked the ship, causing the death of 16 further crewmen, those being artist Edward Spratt, who was strangled by the kraken, seaman Abraham Akbar, who was crushed by the kraken, seaman George Shirley, who was pulled or shot out of the window and drowned by the kraken, gunner Christian Wolf, who was shot with a cannon by the kraken, third mate Stuart Roderick Anderson, who was crushed, midshipman Peter Mulroy, who was caught in the explosion, topman Maba. Meanwhile, those of the crew that have escaped in a lifeboat, seaman Nathan Peters, Alexander Booth, and pursuer Duncan McKay, all fell overboard and drowned when the kraken flung their lifeboat into the air. The captain's wife, passenger Abigail Hawkes Twitterell, who stepped out to look for her husband, was crushed by falling rigging. Helmsman Finley Dalton and the topman Wei Lee were pulled into the sea and drowned, and bosom's mate Charles Miner was torn apart. The survivor after the attack made only a skeleton crew. Bargain. Inside the lazarette, Captain Stewart Dahl breaks free from the handcuffs. He opens the chest and pulls out the shell from it, but he burned off his arm and dies, finding it full of unknown substance that resembles mercury, Quicksilver. During the Kraken attack, Captain Witterell deduced that the mermaids are responsible, so he enters the Lazarus and kills off 2 of them in the hope that they call off the attack. He takes 2 shells and possibly throws them overboard, but this is not fully confirmed in the narratives. Whether due to the shells or the last remaining mermaid calling off the Kraken, the attack stops and the storm subsides. Later, third mate Martin Perrott and Stewart Paul Moss and David James enter the Lazarus and come across the third shell in Dahl's hand. Perrott gets spiked before he could assure the mermaid that he has come to set it free. Mortally wounded, he orders the steward to give the mermaid the shell, throw the beast overboard, and lock the door to the Lazarus as they leave. He also asks the mermaid to see the Obra Dinn home. Even later, Moss finds the ship's surgeon, Henry Evans, attempting to enter the Lazarus when the key to it has been disposed of. Aware of the functionality of pocket watch called the Memento Mortem and assuming that East Indian Company will use the watch to investigate the ship should it ever make it back to port, Evans ties his pet monkey to a rope, kills it in the Lazarus, and keeps it full before leaving. Oh, that was the locked chamber in the game. Okay, escape. Meanwhile, Force Mate John Davis helps the dying bosom, Alfred Kelsey, to a chair in the gun deck. Davis tells him that his Frenchman was torn apart and that the Kraken went away with the storm, thanks to Captain Witterell. Shortly after Clestill dies of blood loss, gunner mate Olus Sweat expressed doubt of Captain Witterell's trustworthiness. He broaches the subject of mutiny with Davis, planning to take over the ship and sell the wretched fish and shells. Thomas Lanke, the only survivor midshipman at this point, overhears the conversation and panics, alerting the crewmen of mutiny. Walter stabs Lanke in the back for his trouble, but Davis intervenes, reaching for Whiter's gun. During the scuffle, the gun blows off Whiter's face. Dust up catches the attention of First Mate William Hockus, who rushes to the dying Lanke aide, and seaman Henry Brennan, who clubs Davis, wrongly believing that Davis killed Walter on purpose. Now, to the north of Madeira, Evans, James, Moss, and passenger Emily Jackson and Jane Burr attempt to leave the ship on the last remaining boat, but Leonid Volkov, a Russian topman, catches the group and attacks, getting into a sword fight with Moss. Despite the intervention of Captain Witterell, First Mate William Hockus, seaman Harry Brennan, and topman Lewis Walker, Volkov stabs Moss, killing him. He proceeds to try to attack the other, but Jackson quickly shoots him down, killing him. The end. After an indeterminate amount of time has passed, amount of time has passed, First Mate Hockus, Seaman Brennan, and Topman Walker all turn on Captain Witterell and attempt to extort the shells, but he said he had thrown them overboard. The crewmen do not buy the explanation and attack him. The captain is forced to kill them, all in self-defense. He shoots Hockus with a gun, slits Brennan's throat, and clubs Walker in the head, who has already stabbed his knife into the captain's right side. Overcome with grief, Captain Witterell sits beside his wife's body, lament the death of Hoscut, and asks for her forgiveness before shooting himself. Back in Falmouth, 5 years later, in 1807, the Obra Dinn drifts back to Port Falmouth. An East Indian Company insurance inspector is summoned to determine what happened aboard the ship and giving a catalogue and the pocket watch, both of which Surgeon Henry Evans mailed to the East Indian Company from Morocco. The inspector completes the investigation and leaves the ship as the weather is about to get bad. After leaving, the Obra Dinn sinks in the storm. The inspector then prepares a full insurance assessment for the East Indian Company and mails the book back to Henry Evans. London, roughly a year later, Henry Evans dies in Africa due to an illness, and one of its surviving passengers, Jane Bird, sent the inspector a letter about how Evans felt about the inspector's performance. If enough fate were confirmed, Bird sent the catalogue back to the inspector. The inspector gets a chance to find out what happened to crew members in the lazarets of the Obra Dinn, and the package also contains the paw of a monkey that dies in the lazaret. The story ends and the inspector placed the fully complete catalogue in the bookshelf. Awesome, great story. I liked it. Not much depth in it. So overall, I'll give this game 9 out of 10, but it definitely go into my WoW list. It lost a point. The story is not very deep. It's a bit straightforward, shallow, but the way it was told, magnificent. That's why it's on my WoW list. But yeah, 9 out of 10, because like there are 10 or 12 people who just drowned by the Kraken. There are many people who got recognized in the hammocks and stuff like that. So yeah, that was Return of the Obra Dinn. I'm gonna do the remaining achievement. What do I have missing? I have missing 2 achievements. I have Captain did it and Abandoned Ship. Okay, I'm gonna Google it. So yeah, I'll just Google it and do them. If they are worthy of a video, I'll make it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. This was the end of the Obra Dinn. See you in the next series. I don't know what it will be. And stay cool. Wise out.